Hey, welcome everyone to this short flow class that I hope you can fit into your day. We'll begin in a seat, and if there's any props that support you for your practice, you can go ahead and grab those. Let's sit kneeling or cross-legged, and you're invited to make the sound of Om with me. Om can represent a life cycle, perhaps a practice, the birth, the life, the destruction, and the aftermath of a life cycle. So we're about to engage in that journey right now. You might take your hands together at your chest. Maybe close your eyes. Take a moment to take a breath in and exhale it completely. Inhale for Om. Take a breath in here. Exhale, hands to the earth. Walk back a little on your mat. Come into a child's form with your hands forwards. Take your breath in here and your breath out. Let's shift forwards into a tabletop. Lift our right knee off the ground and circle clockwise through our knee for 5, 4, 3, 2. You might lift your right hip a little here. 1, switch directions with that circle. For 5, if you want to make this more challenging, lift your left knee a little off the floor in a hovering tabletop. 2, 1, both knees find the floor. Inhale, arch your spine. And exhale, round your spine under. Come to neutral. We'll do the other side. Lift your left knee off and go counterclockwise for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and in the clockwise direction, if you like, you can tuck your right set of toes and lift the knee off for 3, 2, 1. Both knees find the earth. Inhale, arch your spine, and exhale, round your spine under there. Let's come to neutral, widen the knees a little more, and shift back into a child's form. This time, come up a little in your child's form, walk your hands over to the right, eke your left fingertips a little further forwards, and maybe take your left temple to your left bicep. Your breath in and out there. Over to the left with your hands, wiggle those right fingertips forwards. You can take your right temple to your right bicep. In and out breath there. Back into the center. Let's rise up to sit on our heels, or you can come up into a kneeling shape if that's better for you. Take your right arm over your left, give yourself a big hug, or find eagle wrap arms. Either curl in a little, breathing into your mid back, or take your elbows to the ground and let your head fall towards your elbow creases for a breath in. Release your breath. It's heavy hips. Come all the way back up. Release your arms, switch your left over your right. Eagle wrap your arms if you like. Take a breath in there and curl forwards a little, or maybe let your elbows find the floor for a breath in there. And release your breath out. Heavy hips brings you all the way up. Release your hands, knees in. Let's shift forwards. Tuck our toes and come into a bit of a squat. So your knees can widen again. Your squat might be a toe squat with your hands way forwards. Maybe your heels find the ground. You can widen your feet and turn them out if you like. You might find a prayer shape with a long spine at the back of your mat. If you like, squeeze your knees into center, inner thighs working, and then press with your elbows your knees out to the sides. Let's do that 2 more times. Squeeze into center and press out with your elbows. Again, squeeze to center, roll to the inner edges of your feet, and then widen to the outer edges of your feet. Hands forwards, lift your hips, parallel your feet, forward fold, maybe a big knee bend there. Let's walk it out to downward facing dog. Press back into your hips, your breath in. your breath out. Feet together at the back of your mat. Let your right leg rise up behind you. Take your right foot into a lunge. Back toes tuck. Let's inhale into a high crescent. And then exhale, shift forwards. Chest to front thigh. On your next inhale, come to a high crescent. And on your next exhale, twist to your right. You can take your right hand to your left hamstring and reach your left arm up. Then sweep your right arm forwards. Inhale into a crescent. We'll do that one more time. Exhale, shift forwards. Inhale, come back up, high crescent. And then exhale, a twist. Maybe a reach back like a reverse warrior there. And on your inhale, back forwards. Let your hands find the ground. Take your right knee to your nose, curl in, step back to plank. Maybe your knees come down here. Lower to the floor to a chaturanga. Roll through a cobra or an up dog. And then back into your downward facing dog. Feet together at the back of your mat. Left leg reaches up. Left leg in between your hands. High crescent. And forwards with your chest. High crescent. And twist to your left. High crescent. Whole thing again, forwards. High crescent. Find your twist. High crescent. Hands find the mat. Left knee to nose, round your spine, shoulders over your wrist, step back. Your choice, knees down, maybe flow through your movements. Chaturanga, up dog, downward facing dog. Walk your feet to the back of your mat, feet hip distance. Take your fingertips out front, or maybe your hands are on blocks, and start to pedal your knees. One knee in towards your left armpit, left knee, right knee in towards your right armpit. Go side to side. If your hands are on the ground, you might even fit your right knee into your right armpit and your left knee into your left armpit. Shifting side to side. And then let's walk back out into our downward facing form. We'll take that sequence again, feet together. Right leg reaches up. In between your hands. High crescent. Forwards with your torso. Back with your arms. Steady hips, high crescent. Twist it to your right. High crescent. One more time, forwards. Flying there, high crescent, and then twist it to your right. Right hand forwards, high crescent. Hands find the ground, round your spine, knee to nose, step back. Maybe flow through your chaturanga, up dog and down dog. Feet together at the back of the mat, left leg rises up. Foot in between your hands. Rise up to that high crescent. Forwards, flying arms back. High crescent. Twist it to the left. High crescent. Forwards. High crescent. Twist it to the left. High crescent. Hands find the floor, knee to nose. Step back. Maybe your flow, maybe you stay in down dog, or find a child's form. From down dog, walk your feet in, so you're in a little bit of a shorter downward facing dog. Bend your knees a fraction, and see how it feels to take your right hand off of the floor and take your right fingertips right underneath your nose. Maybe it works to take your right hand and hold the outside of your left calf or your ankle. Try to keep your left hand pressing into the ground firmly and your left shoulder blade wide away from your spine. And you can look under your left armpit if you like. And if you remember that knee fit into armpit, can you take your right knee? See if you can balance in to come up onto your right tippy toes and press your right knee into your right armpit, maybe encouraging a little more twist. Release that, let's switch sides. So we can take our left hand right underneath our nose, right shoulder blade away from your spine. Maybe stay there, take your hand to the outside of your calf or your ankle. Keep a strong pressure into your right hand. Left knee might fit into the left armpit and press you a little more into a twist. A little bit bouncy here. Release that out. Back into your longer down dog. Take a breath. Release it out. I'm going to step or hop all the way to a seat. And I'm going to invite you to come onto your right side facing me. Onto your right elbow. Take your left foot in so that it's on the floor like in a figure four. Bend your right knee and then hug your right knee in towards your chest as far as you can go with it. So you can pull the whole unit in. And take a few breaths here, moving your left knee that's close to your torso away from you. So you might feel some work in your outer left hip. Let's take a breath in there. Take a breath out. Can you imagine you're like standing on this left foot? So kind of lean forwards and press into that left foot. Notice what's engaging, what's working in your hips. Some of you you can come up a little higher here, maybe even work a bind like a Mrityasana around that left leg. And stand on that left foot a little more. Release that out. Okay, let's come up a little bit here and start to take either our left knee or stack our shins on top of each other, or take your left leg in front so you're crisscrossing, okay? And then maybe take your arms behind you and interlock your hands to open your shoulders. Take a breath in and fold forwards a little or a lot. Always feel free to let your hands go here over your legs. Root your seat back behind you as your head reaches forwards for a breath in. Breath out. Come on up. We're going to turn our unit of our legs towards the front of the mat and lower ourselves down onto our back. So now we've got a crisscross of our legs, or you could have more of a pile of your shins on top of each other. Squeeze your knees in towards the midline and then press your knees down to the floor without arching your back. Let's do that again. Squeeze in. You could have your shins stacked and then press down without arching your back. One more time. Squeeze in and press down. Take a breath in there. A breath out, release your legs, take them to the floor, squeeze your inner legs in towards each other, use momentum of your arms, tuck your chin, roll all the way up to stand, forward fold, breath in there, breath out. Come on up, let's swivel it onto our left side. So we're coming up onto our forearms, our right foot comes in front. Bend our left knee, curl it in, bring it as close as you can. Take that right knee away from you. Imagine you're standing on your right foot. You can even try that. Stand, stamp the foot down. I have the amazing Micah Walters to thank for this little sequence. Push down. Some of you might want to come up and do an interesting little bind there around your right knee. Still imagining you're standing firmly on that right leg. So much strength and activation around your hips. You can release it there. We're gonna slowly start to come up. So either you're piling your shins one on top of the other, or you stack your right leg in front. You might take your hands behind, interlock, breathe in there, and then forward fold, aiming hips back and down, head forwards and down. Breath in. Feeling it all the way through. Noticing if you want to jump out of the shape or go a little further than your body wants to. Just checking in. Instead of checking out. Okay, let's come all the way up there. Swivel our feet to the front. Let's lower all the way down. You could also be doing this stacking your shins. Try to keep your low back close to the floor. Squeeze your knees in and then push them down to the floor. 1, squeeze in, push them down. 2, you might be trying this a bit more challenging with your shins stacked. Push, push, push there. 3. Release, legs straight, squeeze your legs together. Momentum of your arms to bring you up, forward fold. Your breath in there. Your breath out. Come on up from that. We're gonna go back down, curl your tailbone under, squeeze your legs. See if you can lower down segmentally through your spine. Come on back up segmentally through your spine. 1 more like that. Lower down segmentally through your spine. Come on up. And this time as you lower down segmentally through your spine, take your feet to plant underneath your knees and come up into a bridge. Could be a low bridge. Could be flipping your fingers towards your shoulders, coming up onto the top of your head and coming back down. Could be coming up onto the top of your head and finding a wheel shape, arching your chest away from your hips for a couple of breaths. Tucking your chin, finding your way back down, drawing your knees in towards your chest, hugging in through your knees. Spinal twist. Take our arms out to the sides, hips a little hop to the left, knees to the right, and see if you can flip your feet up into the air and spread your toes as you take that top left hip away from your left armpit. Into the center, hips little pop to the right, knees to the left. And if you can, flip those feet up and take that top right hip away from your top armpit. Come into the center, hips into the center. Just give yourself a little hug. Any little movements that you like to do to close your practice, go for those. And land either on your back, or you're very welcome to come up to a seat, kneeling, or hero's form, cross-legged. Maybe close your eyes and scan your body and notice the effect of your practice. You've just went on a little journey, noticing the residue of that journey. Feeling it all the way through. If you'd like to close your practice with some sound and it's a gesture that you like, you can take your hands together at your chest. Take a breath in. Release it out. Breath in. Thank you for being here today.